any muscle engagement there. Moving up the arms. Letting the breath flow in and out of the chest, softening across the collarbones, the upper back. The shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, moving up the neck, the throat, all the way up to the crown of the head. And just taking a few breaths in silence to continue to relax the body, just focusing on the breath. Taking one last deep breath. Start to bring your awareness back into the room, noticing your chair. When you're ready, blinking the eyes open, maybe bringing back some movement.
Thank you, Samantha. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's well today in this week 5 Tuesday marathon session of all your classes. It would be nice to see everybody on camera today. Can we do that? Since we're going to have to be on camera on Thursday, can we all turn on our cameras today? If you're not prepared for that, I understand, but be prepared to be on camera on Thursday. If you do not have the internet horsepower or the technology to have a camera, please let me know. Because if you're not on camera on Thursday, points will be deducted as part of the grading assessment of this exercise. Is my microphone on? Sam, nod your head. Is my microphone on? All right. Hi, Miguel. Nice to see you.
Hello, Professor. It's nice to see you too.
Let me get a couple of minutes for people to quickly comb their hair and show themselves on camera. Mr. Williams, good to see you, buddy.
How you doing, Professor Hassel?
Everything going okay?
Perfect. Just got
Good.
out the shower.
Well, you smell good.
Thank you.
Serena, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right, where's our fearless leaders? Miguel's here. Andrew, are you out there in TV land?
I'm here.
There you go. Okay. Well, good to see everybody. Andrew and I met yesterday and went over a little bit about the planning for Thursday. And first of all, before we get started, I want to thank all of you for your efforts up to this point. The business plan was well received. I don't know if you got any feedback from your professors today about it. I have received no negative feedbacks at all from anybody. Taylor did a wonderful job on the financials. They were to the point, easy to read. So she did a wonderful job on that. So thank you for all your efforts up to this point in time, and what is usually a very fast moving and frustrating time of this course. And I appreciate all your efforts to do that. So what Andrew and I talked about yesterday was, hey, Eric, good to see you. Andrew and I talked about yesterday is on Thursday, we're going to take about 10-15 minutes to explain to the Wells Fargo people who are there, also to explain to the business office, the people who behind the scenes are managing the operations of your enterprise, like the credit card handling, the bank reconciliations, and all that sort of thing. And your professors who will be in attendance, about explaining to them what you plan on doing as Team Wheel Meal this semester. And that's the exercise on Thursday. So what happens is we basically take your business plan and condense it into a series of slides that explain your team, your organization, your mission, your charity, your marketing and sales strategies, your operation strategies, and your financial goals. And that's what we're going to try to accomplish on Thursday. I know it's probably a little early to go through the exact slide by slide of this presentation, but today I'd like to walk through that. And when we do begin, and I don't know if Andrew's given you a heads up on this, when we begin on Thursday, one of the first things that we'll do is we'll introduce ourselves to the audience. So beginning with Andrew and Miguel and going down through it, you set the order. You'll turn on your cameras, introduce yourself, your name, your responsibilities with Team Wheel Meal, your hometown, where you're speaking from, and the high school that you attended. Now you might think, Mr. Hassey, what the hell do they want to know about that stuff for? Well, the reason for that is part of this program is to show the makeup of our team members. And since we're not going to be in person in a classroom or in a lecture hall, we have to find a way of telling our audience where we're coming from, the efforts that we're making to be on camera and be there, and a little bit about ourselves. So that's what we're going to do at the beginning of the presentation, is to introduce ourselves. And then Andrew will lead us through the various officers of the company, of your company, to explain the various aspects of the team. And once this is over in about 10-15 minutes, then we have a question and answer. Now, it can go from very polite, oh, this is great, you guys, just explain to me a little bit more about your website, or just explain to me a little bit more about your organization, or just as a word of being prepared, it can get ugly. What the hell do you mean by this? Prove to me that you can do this. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it has happened in the past. And sometimes it's the professors just testing you to stay cool under fire, to see if you're prepared and understand what you're doing. That's part of it. I have sat in some quote unquote real world business plan presentations at investment banking firms and major American banks. And it happens exactly the same way. It can be very polite and professional and courteous, or it can get downright smelly and ugly. You have to be prepared for either or. Somebody could say, Mason, how secure are you holding all those units at your house? Or what are you doing to make sure that you're not going to lose anything? You don't have to answer that question now, Mason.
Okay, I was getting ready.
And somebody might go to Taylor. Taylor, how are you going to get an account for your making sure all the money is deposited in the bank? Or somebody go to to Sebastian. Sebastian, I see you're information officer. Tell us how you're operating the website, or show us a sample of your website if you can. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying be prepared for it to happen. Okay? Because that's how it is in the real world. You never know. You never know what people might ask. Because remember, they're giving us $2,500. And I know $2,500, big friggin' deal. Wow, it's going to break the bank. But it is a big deal. It's a big deal for them because they're giving out the money of depositors to us. They want to make sure that they're going to get a return on their investment. And what's the return on their investment? Interest at around 8.25%, probably around that ballpark, 8.25, 8.5, and their money back. All right, that's why, and that's kind of important. It's just like if you lent some money to somebody, I think you'd be concerned about when you're going to get it back, and what's the safety or the risk involved of lending that money out. So that's the process that we're going to go through on Thursday. Okay. So Jasleen and Dave, I hope you're prepared to have your cameras on Thursday. Oh, hi, Jasleen. And just make sure that if you don't have them on, it's okay. I mean, I don't want you to go out and buy a new computer, or I don't want you to go out and get a Wi-Fi system, or I don't want you to go out and, whatever. I totally understand. Just give us a heads up, give Andrew a heads up that you won't be able to be on camera, and that's okay. That's not a big deal as long as you let us know what you're doing. Okay. I don't want to put pressure on people. Geez, last year we had a student almost have a heart attack because they had to work during that time period in that morning, and they had to call in from their coffee room at their office. I felt so bad for the poor student. She was a nervous wreck. I go, it's not a big deal. Just let us know that. Okay, so that's just to be so everybody's comfortable with that. I don't want you to be uncomfortable. This is a new experience for all of us, and to be able to do this properly and safely and stress-free as much as we can, that's the key thing. Okay. All right, Andrew. So why don't we start off, Andrew, with how you would begin the presentation?
So we're gonna go two variations. One would be if we start off with a video, and then one would just be one if I just started normally without a video.
What do you think the possibilities of doing the video?
Well, it depends. We need to do some, imagine, extra shooting.
Oh, okay.
If not, I'm pretty sure we pull off from the first two videos. So we already posted 2 on our social media.
Okay.
We probably introduce more with the problem, which we already posted.
Okay.
So it's most likely we're going to do the video.
Okay, that'll be good, because I think it's good for these people to see that you are that sophisticated to have that, number one, and that you can do that. So that's a good thing. But again, whatever you feel as a team comfortable to do, that's the most important. Don't feel like I'm forcing you into something. Don't feel like any of your professors are forcing you into something. You do what is ever comfortable for you guys. And that's the key thing. Okay. All right. So we do that. Then what next?
So the video, I give a little introduction. I have a little bit written down already, but basically I'd say welcome. Thank you for all being here. My name's so-and-so, my little spiel. And then I would introduce most likely the team, or if we just talk, or we just showed a video of our product, kind of do a little mission statement or something along those lines of our product. And then we would go into the team. I have a second slide would be all of our pictures, our names and positions, and then whether people could chime in at that point.
Okay, so that'd be the point where we go around the Zoom, for lack of a better word. Good God. But I'm so sick and tired of Zooming. I'll tell you that, just be honest with you. We have to do this, and this is a good thing because it's a good experience for everybody. But whew, like you guys, I've been on Zoom for 6 hours today. Unbelievable. And you guys got another class after this. So it's tough. So, okay. So do we have an order by which, like, you introduce yourself, then I assume Miguel, and then is there an order, or how are you going to do that?
I haven't developed the order yet. No.
Okay, so let's make sure we do that because we don't want all of a sudden the screen to go quiet and you're all staring there and nobody knows, all right, who's going to go next? Is it Rihanna going to say, hi, I'm Rihanna. I live in here. I went to this high school. I'm the VP of this. And then it goes to Taylor, or where it goes to Eric, or then it goes to Sebastian. So we got to make sure if you could just have some type of order so we have some continuity in
Mhm.
doing that because it makes us look like we know what we're doing, right?
I'm going last.
Okay. What's that, Sebastian?
I said I'm going last.
You're going last. Okay, that's fine by me.
Noted.
That's all right. Note that. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Very good. And okay, so after we introduce the team, who's going to talk about the charity? Rihanna. Okay. All right. And I think it's good public relations, Rihanna, to tell the group who we working with, and you might want to say Sarah's name. Okay. I think that's a good thing to know. A lot of people there will know Sarah, and that'll be a good thing. I know one of the teams is their charity is the Laverne COVID Relief Fund for students, and Juan Regalado, the VP of Student Affairs, will be there for that group. So that's a good thing, Rihanna. If you could do that, if you don't have to have Sarah there, unless she wanted to be there, but just to mention that's a good thing. All right. So Rihanna's got that. And then what's after Rihanna, Andrew?
So after the charity, we have our mission statement.
Okay.
Then our goals. So that'll be the next slide.
Well, that would be a good one for Miguel to explain. Would that be proper to do that?
For Miguel, for our mission statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very good. Because I want people to see that attractive guy, Miguel. And then after that, what's next?
To be our goals, or for the goal for the product, or for our whole wheel meal as a team.
And who's going to do that?
Let's see. Someone put some information down here. I don't remember who put this one down. Who added the section for goal?
That was me again.
Miguel.
Okay, so Miguel does that too. That's fine. That's cool. All right. Then what's next?
Then following up would be our strategy slide.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
So
who's
kind
that?
of- we don't have anyone for that yet.
Miguel? Miguel, maybe?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that's the end of Miguel. Miguel shuts up after that. All right. He wants a lot of screen time. I can see he's a ham. All right. After that, what's next?
So then following the two slides would be primary and secondary.
Would this be Mason?
That'd be correct.
Mason, okay. Make sure you put on some makeup. Look very nice that day, or haha. Okay, good, Mason. And when we do that, are you going to talk about the cost per each unit, just to let everybody know?
Yeah, I believe I have the unit cost and everything
Okay,
already
good.
on the slide.
On the slide? Very good. Okay.
You
Okay.
guys are for both secondary and primary vendors.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. And
following-
are you going to talk about, all right, go ahead. Next,
Oh,
after
sorry,
that?
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're going to talk about where you're going to store the inventory before distribution. Where will that be? At your place, Mason?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna split it between me and I think maybe two other people, maybe Andrew and Jesling.
Okay, you don't have to name the names, but just name the locations, like what part of town they're going to be in.
Like cities, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Okay. Yeah, again, and in the real world of business, you get a loan for some product. You get a loan, and the most of the loan is going towards buying the product. I think the bank is entitled to know the safety and the security of where that product is. So that's the reason for that, Mason. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so we got that. What's next?
Next slide would be inventory management.
Mason again.
And Mason, yes, Mason.
Very
again.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Next,
We
next.
get into the meat of it. So we get into marketing.
And who will do that?
That will probably be split between, I believe, David and Austin. If I'm
Very good.
correctly.
All right.
Then the next one would be target market, following that with promotional plan. And so this is all under marketing section.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
And then after promotional plan, we have sales.
Okay.
So that would be Tyler.
Okay, Tyler.
Mhm.
By the way,
below
just time out for a sec. Tyler, what's the latest on the big sale that we are thinking about doing?
It's still going through.
Attaboy. Good to hear it. Okay. I can sleep at night. That's good. All right, Andrew, I'm sorry to cut you off.
no problem. So after that, we have sales pitch, sales projections. And then finally, we have risk analysis.
Who does that?
I believe that's Jasleen,
Okay,
correctly.
very good.
And then we have SWOT analysis underneath that.
Jasleen again.
I believe so, yes.
Very good.
And then we have competitive market. Then we have the following slide would be our product versus like competitors. So we would find images and information regarding similar products to our trays. So there are variations,
Okay.
ones that you do on cup holder style or whatever, but we have to pull more information on that one.
Okay.
Um,
One thing to note, whenever, like when Jasleen comes on, when Rihanna comes on, when Tyler comes on, when Austin comes on, when Mason comes on, reintroduce yourself when you come on again, because it might have been a few minutes since you did that, and just say, hi, I'm Mason Ferrari. I'm the Chief Operations Officer. Just give your title. You don't have to reintroduce your name or your hometown or high school, but just say, refresh everybody's memory with your name and your position once you start talking. Okay, just remember that. I'm sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes, Taylor.
When we're not speaking, do we stay on the camera like this, or do you want?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just stay on the camera like this. Don't do this. Just say like very smile, look professional. Don't have a beer in your hand. You do that after. You don't do that. Just like, you're, and a couple recommendations, and I don't want to get this picky because there's nothing worse than a professor who's a pain in the ass, excuse my French, is a lot of you should have lights in front of your cameras, not in the back. For example, like Andrew and Tyler are kind of dark. You really don't see your features very well. Now, do you have a lamp or a light you can put in front of your computer to give you some front light? That, like, everybody else is fine. Everybody else looks good, but it's a little dark. Now, Andrew, you clean that up so it looks better. But just so you don't look like you're a stalker hiding in the shadows. Okay, that's just being professional. All right. So again, like for me, I have this light here, and it's just in the front, so it just brings out a little bit more light. Let's turn that off. I'm scary looking as it is. But just show a little, if you can do that. If not, don't worry about it. It's just looking, makes you show yourself a little bit better, and that's important. Okay. And one last thing, if we're on the subject of how we look, for example, Austin there he is. He hasn't looked at the camera once. He's off to the side here. So make sure if you're presenting or you're talking, you don't go like this. Oh, how you doing? Everything's fine. I'm the chief athletic director, and this is what, don't do that. Make sure you're somewhat looking at the camera. All right. You don't have to look at it all the time, but make sure every now and then you're staring at your audience, because then they'll think, well, what's this guy doing?
Hey,
And not to
Professor
pick-
Nancy, I got a question.
Yes, Sebastian.
What is your role with the athletic department?
I'm the faculty athletic representative to the NCAA. If somebody gets in trouble, usually with grades, with ethics, with whatever, I help them out. I'm the liaison between the NCAA and the student and the coaches.
Perfect.
So that's what I do.
Thank you.
And I don't get paid for it either, damn it. but I enjoy it. Because I was Sebastian, you might laugh at this, but I was a D1 athlete at one time.
Me too.
Good for you. And I was quite involved with athletics for most of my pre-gray hair life. And so I like to stay involved with athletics. So I like to do that with the NCAA and I've been kind of silent lately because we haven't any sports. But
you're not gonna look like that your whole life.
I just came from a meeting a couple hours ago where we're gearing up the seasons for full time next fall, and hopefully having some seasons this spring beginning in a few weeks. So things are beginning to pick up in that regard. So that's my background on that, Sebastian. All right, so so lighting, that title that looks even better. That's good. Okay, lighting, and just every now and then look at the camera, and just it looks just more professional, and that's what we want to try to do. All right, Andrew, what's next?
Next would be capital budget.
And that's Taylor, right?
No, this is section of Serena, I believe.
Oh, Serena. Sorry, Serena. I apologize. Serena. Okay. Very good. And then after capital budget?
Capital budget. Then we do financial projections.
Then Taylor,
everything financial below that.
And Taylor, why don't you, if you can, walk me through how you're going to present the financials?
So I looked at Pandemic's PowerPoint, and they made a point to talk about the big differences. So I was just going to tell them or explain why we would have a difference between most likely and worst case scenario.
Did you happen to see this spreadsheet that I sent you?
Yes, that's one of those. I put this information on one of the sheets or one of the slides.
That's good. That's good, Taylor, because, and you're exactly right. What Pandemic did last time is they concentrated on saying, our worst case scenario, we're only making a 20% profit margin. That's still pretty good. Okay. In our best case scenario, we're almost making 50%. And then the next question might be from Professor Abadante, trust me, or from the Wells Fargo gentleman is, okay, what's the big difference? Well, we're selling it for less, right? We're selling it for less and we're not selling as many. We're selling more here. And that's, so you got it, Taylor. You know what to do. And that's what they're looking for. And then you don't have to show all your spreadsheets, but have them available if they want to see them. Because I know, and I told Andrew about this, is that Professor Abadante will see, show me your balance sheet, show me your cash flow statement, show me something. He'll want to see that. So then you just have it ready and you bring it up. Okay?
Okay.
You feel comfortable about all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no big deal. There really isn't. It's not that big a deal. You guys are making money. If everybody does their jobs, you guys are going to have a nice check to do. So that's great. So that's, the only thing difference from this and the real world is we're not getting paid. No paycheck, right? Be nice to be compensated for this, but we're not getting paid. That's the only difference. Everything else is the same. Marketing, internet, cost of goods, everything's the same except we don't get paid. So too bad for that. All right, Andrew, we're done with the financials. What next?
Last slide would be questions. Oh, sorry, Miguel, go ahead.
Professor, I had a question. Is the Wells Fargo meeting going to be in this classroom?
No, I sent you the link already.
Okay.
And if you look at our agenda today, which is also posted in Blackboard, you'll see the link for Thursday right there.
Okay.
Click on that link. We're going third. So
right.
The first team is at 8:30. If they take 20, 25 minutes, then the next team, and it will be on at approximately 9:20, Miguel. And then what will happen if you come on at 9 o'clock, or even you might come on at 8:30. If you want to get there early, you'll be put in a breakout room with the rest of your team. It's kind of like if anybody ever watches the talk shows, it's like the green room. It's the room where you sit until it's time for you to go on stage. So the breakout room you'll wait in, because we don't allow students to watch other students' presentation. That's not good. So you'll wait in this breakout room, and then as it gets closer to the time, and I'll send a note to Andrew saying how close you guys are to start. And then I'll release the breakout room to the audience, and then that's when we begin.
Okay, and then Andrew will have access to share screen.
Everybody will have access to share screen, yes.
Okay.
Okay, but Andrew will be the person who's leading it, yes.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so don't forget, don't log in to our class site, log in to the Zoom site for the presentation on Thursday morning. Now, while we're on that subject, guys, there's no class that afternoon, but we will have a meeting at 4 o'clock, and I'm sorry to say, but we will, at 4 o'clock with all the other teams. We're all getting together in one meeting, and we're just going to talk a little bit about logistics of how we're going to work this out over the next few weeks. And that'll take about a half hour at 4 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. And there's the link to that site as well. Okay. Okay, so question and answers. Now, as I said earlier, the questions and answers could be, boy, tell me a little bit more about how you're going to try to sell this. And are we going to be able to show them our website?
I could finish it tonight if you guys want.
I'm sorry?
I said I could finish it tonight. We just need to get the
Serena,
slides.
you just do what you can do, okay? If you don't have it, if you can't show it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, okay? But just be prepared. Somebody might say, well, can I see your website? And well, it's still in development. We're still working on it. And we don't have it quite ready yet. Or if you have the front site, the opening page available, you might want to show that. Whatever you feel is comfortable, Serena. So if you don't have it up and running, that's not a big deal, okay? So if you feel like you can do that and show them something, great. If not, it's not a big deal. But somebody might ask that. Somebody might also ask, are we going to have this in our sales presentation? What are going to be our individual goals for selling? How many units are we going to be selling, or ask the team members to sell? Somebody might ask that, or is that part of our presentation already, Tyler?
I'm going to put it in. I have it at 2 per week to total.
Okay.
My general projected, like what I think is going to happen, is like 240.
That's fine. That's it. Don't say I think this is going to happen. Say these are our projections. Okay. That'll be a good way of saying that. Okay. But that's good. Okay. Because somebody's probably going to ask about that. And then somebody might ask about, do you have any, and this is Tyler, this again is probably for you. Do you have any corporate connections yet in the offing? And are you doing any, and just explain to us, and you again might have this in your presentation, Rihanna, show us your social media things. What are you doing in social media? That will be, if it's not presented, that will be asked as well. Okay.
So should I tell them that we do have like a corporate, like already ordering 20, 25 of them?
Just say we have a corporate discussion about an order, but don't get too specific.
Okay.
Okay. But that's a good thing to say. But you don't even have to mention the name of the company. No matter of fact, don't mention the name of the company, because then some other team might steal that. We don't want to do that. But yeah, just say we have a connection developing that we're working on and proceeding with, hopefully making that happen. Something like along those regards. Okay.
All right.
Good, Tyler. Samantha, am I leaving anything out?
I don't think so. Just really be thorough with all the financial stuff, because I feel like that's what Mr. Abadante will come for you with. So just really be thorough in explaining them, and like explain the capital budget, where you're going to allocate those specifically, and make sure you have a good cushion and all that. But yeah.
Taylor did a great thing, and I was so impressed, Taylor. I'm not trying to blow smoke up here, you know what, but you did a great thing. The first thing Abadante looks at is your projection of sales in units from week to week. And most teams put in, oh, we're going to sell 20 this week. then we're going to sell 25, 25, 25, 25, 25 every week. Taylor didn't do it that way. You know, she had a certain amount in one week, a certain amount another. Then she got a little bit more consistent, but she showed some real numbers there, or some real type of planning. And Abadante is going to eat that up like a spoon. He likes that stuff because it shows that you're thinking about it. And I didn't even have to tell Taylor that. She did it on her own. And I thought that was very impressive for me, because usually we have to tell a team, don't do that, because Abadante and even Wells Fargo is going to say, what do you mean? You're going to sell 20 units every week? You think that's actually going to happen? That doesn't show that you really spent much time thinking about this. So they always will pick up on that. Also, and Taylor again did this, everything needs to be in balance. If you look at week 10, does the balance sheet total match the amount of cash that you have? Because that's how much of the check you're going to write. And so Taylor was right on balance. Everything was fine. And so that's another thing they're going to look at, is everything in balance? And it is in the spreadsheets we sent them earlier on Sunday. That's why I didn't hear back much from them, because everything was in balance. Everything was cool. So that's a good thing as well. So they still might ask questions in that regard, but I think we got everything covered by that, and I think that's wonderful. Does anybody on the team here have any concerns or questions?
Hey, Professor, I have a question.
Yes, David.
When we were going through everybody, where did my name pop up for what I'm presenting?
Well, you weren't listening, David?
I was listening. I didn't hear that part. I didn't catch that part.
Well, I think as Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, we have 12 team members here, guys. So we can't really have every team member speaking a couple minutes, because we don't have enough time. We only have 10, 15 minutes. So we basically decided, David, that if you're in charge of a specific area, you'll be speaking. But your only real thing you have to say, David, is just to introduce yourself at the beginning, and your team title, and where you're calling from, your hometown, and your high school. So you didn't do anything wrong. It's just we have too many team members for the amount of time that we have, David. So that's the case.
Okay, so just a little introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And one last thing is, speaking of how we look, if you don't have a tie, you don't worry about it. Okay. Just as I told Andrew the other day, just dress like you're going to a job interview. Okay. Just dress like you're going to a job interview. That's fine. That's all we ask. You don't have to wear a tie. You don't have to wear a sport coat if you don't want to. I'll have a sport coat on and I'll look pretty dopey, but that's me. So, but you can just dress like you're going to a job interview. That's all we ask. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Eric, we haven't heard much from you, buddy. Is everything okay? And do you have any questions or anything?
I'm good.
Okay, you're good? Good.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. I think we heard from most everybody there. Andrew, what do you have to say or anything?
So basically, once we get all the information, I'll go through the whole thing, the whole PowerPoint presentation, make it all fancy and whatnot. So I'll add color in there. I'll make sure all the fonts are all the same. And then hopefully we can do one rehearsal beforehand. So either tomorrow, and then that way everyone knows when to speak, and like, okay, when that person ends, oh, it's my turn, and so on. So I'd like to do at least one rehearsal with everyone.
Okay. I don't have to be there.
Yeah. If you want to, it's fine.
No, I don't want to be there.
Mason also had you had a question or something like that, Mason?
Oh, it was about the in the oral in which we're going to be presenting. Why don't we just present in which, like, say if a person's presenting slide 2, why don't they present themselves second or like first? If they're
okay,
different.
that's a good idea. That's
So
good.
introduce yourself,
bro.
basically.
Yes, Sebastian.
Do you speak another language?
Do I?
No, Mason. Do you speak another language?
Yeah.
Why do you want him to speak from French or something?
No, I'm just asking if he
Oh.
speaks language.
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah.
You do? What
Yeah.
languages do you speak, bro?
I speak French also.
That's dope. I heard a little bit of an accent, man.
Thanks.
That's all. I'm just interested.
All right. So that's a good suggestion, Mason. I think we should do that. Or, if Andrew and Miguel think that's a good thing to do, then we'll do that. Okay. Anything else?
So
Can
if
you,
we do-
Andrew, can you coordinate everything with everybody tomorrow to get everybody together? Is that doable?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Mhm.
Oh, okay. All right.
Regarding presenting or introducing yourself while you're presenting, so that means what? Having everyone's picture in the beginning. We're just gonna delete that slide, or because if you're introducing yourself while you're presenting, there's no need for that like whole picture of everyone. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's good to show. Well, you have a slide? You have like 2 slides with all the pictures on it, right?
Yeah, we're gonna split like half and half. So
Yeah.
6 on one and
Yeah.
6 on the other.
I still think it's important to show that slide.
Maybe
and
towards
if
the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I was hoping maybe somebody could take a picture of your screen of all the group and have that, but that looks kind of dopey, I guess. So forget that. That's a bad idea, Professor Hasse. Shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Anything else, Andrew?
Nope.
I just want Mr. Wells Fargo. His name is Norm. I don't even know his last name. Mr. Wells Fargo and the people who are attending, and there are going to be some surprise guests, but they always say they're going to come, then they never show up. So I'm not going to tell you who they are. But there will be, I just want people to walk after your presentation. Remember, you're going third. So if people before you, they're going to be used to seeing this format already. But I want them, after you're done and answer all the questions and show your team that they feel that you're going to represent the university, represent your team, and represent your charity to produce a great sales period. And I think that's the goal of this. That's the grade that I will give you over the weekend. At the end of this weekend, I post our first grade for the course. 20% of your grade will be posted on your efforts up to this point in time. And that's the final assessment that I will have. Did you clearly and professionally state what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and what each one of you or each one of the sectors of your team are doing? And that's what we're looking for. Okay.
Can I add something on top of that?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. So I agree that we should make our presentation pop a little more, be a little creative, have fun with it. So if you guys have any ideas for our presentation to really change it up, I'm open to that. We could discuss that in the group chat or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think that's anything that shows your team's personality is important. Whatever, your personality. And I know you guys are not in a room. You're all talking to each other via the phone and cellular and Zoom and emails. It's kind of impersonal, but some way of giving the personality of your team and your product that can make it special. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Is there a question?
Yes, sir.
How do I read the mission statement without just like reading the mission statement?
Well, you kind of, and that's part of this experience, Miguel, is how you do that. It's kind of like what I'm doing here. When I teach a class, I have notes in front of me, and those notes are in large print, so I can basically glance down and then go back up and see where I'm headed. And so maybe you just have to practice it a little bit. You don't have to read it verbatim like it's in your business plan, but you want to hit the key points of the sentences of what you're saying, and just maybe rehearse it on your own. So when you sit in front of it, you don't have to always like this. You can you know what you're going to say in advance, or you have an outline of what you're going to say. You can glance down at it, but you can concentrate on the audience.
So since I'm dedicating a whole slide to the mission statement, would it be smart not to include it? That way they like have to listen to me instead of reading it with me?
No, I would do both.
Include it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the mission statement slide is not a paragraph. It's like bullet points of your mission statement, and you would elaborate on that in your discussion.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, Andrew, if you want to, if you get all this done at a reasonable hour tomorrow and want to send me the PowerPoint presentation or send it to Sam or Andrea for us to look over with any last minute comments, feel free. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's fine too. If you, whatever you feel comfortable, if you want us to take another set of eyes to look at it, feel free to do that. If not, it's okay too.
No, the more input, the better. You know?
Yeah. So whenever you want to send that is fine.
I'll try to send it as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. Jasleen, you've been awfully quiet. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay.
I do have a question though. For the presentation, did you say we can or can't do a video?
No, you can do a video,
Oh, okay.
but I don't mean like every student do a video. I
No,
mean,
a group one.
have a couple general, excuse me. I have a couple of, anybody got a cigarette? I have a couple of videos, not a lot of videos, but a couple key videos about the product, about whatever, the charity or whatever. But yeah, that's there's nothing wrong with that. You might want to test it out, make sure everybody can hear it, make sure it looks good on a computer. What I do when I'm going to present, I have a Zoom account, and maybe you guys don't, but I have a Zoom account, and I do rough drafts, rough videos of me speaking, and then I go back and I look at it. Do I look like an idiot? Can everybody hear me? Am I shifty-eyed? Am I paying attention? Is the video that I'm presenting everybody can hear? So if you have the ability to do that, fine. If not, Jasleen, don't worry about it. That's not a big deal. The big deal is just showing what you guys are going to be doing. Okay? All right. Smile, everybody. It's not the end of the world, for Pete's sakes. Good Lord. Wait till you get out in the real world and your job depends on how you present something. Then that's when you got to sweat. This is easy. Don't worry about this now. This is easy. All right. Where's Andrea today there, Samantha? Do you know where Andrea is?
I do not, but I don't know if she was going to the Wix meeting, but maybe she thought there's another today. That's why I wasn't coming. So.
Okay. All right. Talia and Andrew, can you just hang on for a moment after I dismiss the group? I want to go over a couple banking things with you. Did the product come, Mason?
No, the product hasn't come yet, but it's shipping right now.
Okay, very good.
It should
All right. If there's nothing else, we're excused, and I'll see you guys Thursday morning. If you run into any last minute problems, just give me a shout, but you guys got this wired. I'm not too concerned. You guys are doing good. All right. Adios, everybody. We'll see you.
Do you need me to stay?
No, that's okay, Sam.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
See ya.